Okay, my screen is visible. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, visible.
Yeah. Okay. So production server means it is a configuration or it is a combination of both hardware and software
Okay.
which is present at the customer place. This will not be present in the software company. This is separate.
Okay.
Okay. You know, installation phase I told no in your
Yeah.
SPLC.
Yes, sir.
Requirement collection, feasibility study, design, coding, testing. Now installation. Installation means once the software is tested and the quality of the software is good, then we will release the software to the customers.
Production server. Yeah.
We'll
Right.
release the software to the customer.
Mhm.
Customer will set up the environment. Set up the environment means he will install the web server, app server, and database server.
Okay.
Yes,
Got
sir.
it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Where he is installing this web server, app server, database server means in the production server only.
Mhm.
Okay.
So the production server configuration should be very much great because the customers will be, the number of customers will be very much higher. Like if you take Facebook, no, how many accounts are there in this world?
So many.
So many means I don't know the number. Infinity, let me tell. Okay.
Yeah.
Because fake accounts also there. Got it. WhatsApp, how many accounts are there? Many accounts are there. Who is having mobile numbers, they are having the WhatsApp. So
Yes.
the number of customers will be more. More means very much more, guys. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So your configuration should be very much higher because the application should work very fast. Assume if it is 16 GB RAM means it will take loading time, more loading time. So more loading time means customers will not wait.
Right.
Got it? If your WhatsApp
Yes.
is
Yeah.
loading, if you send one message, you guys will think of another new application.
Mhm.
Correct.
Similarly, any application if you take, it should work in fraction of seconds. So the configuration will be very much higher.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that is what we will call it as a production server. Production server means it's a combination of hardware and software which is used to
Yeah.
install the software
Correct.
by the customer and run his business. Got it? This is what
Yes,
we
sir.
will call it as a production server.
Production server. Okay.
Next, there is one simple example or simple question. What do you mean by release?
Mhm.
Okay. Now what I have done something called as release. Yes or no? See, I
Yes, sir.
have done some release
Yeah.
now here. So what do you
Yeah.
mean by release? How to start? So here, this is what? Starting from gathering the requirement,
Yes.
okay,
Correct.
followed by developing the software
Correct.
and installing the software in the servers.
Mhm.
There are servers, no?
Yes,
And
sir.
testing the software many number of cycles.
Mhm.
Yes or no? Not
Yes,
only
sir.
one cycle,
Yeah.
many number of cycles, and deploying the software into a production server.
Mhm.
This entire process, what we'll call it as a release or one
Oh.
release.
Oh.
Okay.
Starting from gathering the requirements, followed by developing the software and testing the software in many number of cycles and deploying the
Mhm.
software into the production server. This entire process we'll call it as a
Release.
release or
Release.
one release. Okay,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
got it?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Now, just copy this. definition. So starting from gathering the or collecting the requirement, followed by developing the software and testing the software for many cycles and deploying the software into production server is called as release or
Release.
one release.
One release.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what do
See,
you mean by release / one release?
yeah, see, one release means releasing the software for one time.
Okay.
But in a company,
Mm-hmm.
there will be many updates.
Correct.
If you open your App Store or Play Store, okay, you just open and check. Facebook update you will get today. Within 2 to 3 days, you will get one more time update.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? You seen or not?
Yes, sir.
So if you take your App Store as a production server,
Mm-hmm.
where you are getting a new updates. New updates means the Facebook will be same. Only few
Mhm.
things which are changed that we can't even find. Sometimes
Mhm.
they will do some UI changes.
Mm-hmm.
UI changes means which we can see. Front
Correct.
end.
Yes, sir.
Front end issues or front end changes only we can observe.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But we are getting updates every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
This means every now and then release is happening.
Oh.
So a software can consist of only one release.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you take your calculator,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
your calculator is having same formula. Means 1 plus
Mm-hmm.
1 means always 2.
Yes.
Do you want to change this?
No,
Huh?
sir.
Understood? Huh? So
Yes, sir.
there are
Mhm.
few applications where you can release the software in one time, complete software,
Mm-hmm.
and there will be no updates.
Mm-hmm.
There are some softwares where you are keep on releasing the softwares
Mm-hmm.
or updates.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So it is not fixed. So that is what we will call it as a release or one release. One release means one time you are releasing, or release means multiple times you are releasing the software.
Mm-hmm.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
So there is one note
Yes,
point.
sir.
So there is one note point says that if project is very big and complex, in this case, one project have multiple releases. If a project is very small and simple, small and simple means what I told, the calculator, the
Yes, sir.
requirement will remain same, which will not
Mm-hmm.
change.
Mm-hmm.
In this, we have only one release.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? You just
Yes,
take a
sir.
screenshot of this now. One
Yes, sir.
second. I will write what do you mean by a release? Okay.
Yes, sir. Done.
Done now? Okay. So now, what do you mean by build? Interview question.
Mm.
So we will not use software every time. We will use something called as build.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you mean by build?
Mm-hmm.
You guys already know. You can tell.
Sir, build is the path that the developer, where the developer
Path
build.
is the location.
Yeah.
What is build?
So build is it a folder in which the developer copies the code?
No. Folder is I just mentioned build as a folder name.
Okay.
But what do you mean by actual build? You know the answer, but you don't know how to tell.
Build is to
Build.
make, is to construct.
Creating, basically. Creating, right?
Creating. Okay. So
Creating.
developer will look into the requirement and write the code and do the white box testing and compile the code and
Compress the code.
compress the code into a build. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what do you mean by build? You understood?
Yes, sir.
So developer
Yes.
will write the code and do the white box testing, compile the code, compress the code into a build. Okay.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So the build is having many formats. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I told you the build can be saved in the format called as zip format.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yep.
So what do you mean by zip format? All the codes, okay, which will combine and store in that format so that we will not miss any of the files. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There is something called as .exe file. Exe file means executable file.
Okay.
Whatever the applications which you are installing in your Windows, no?
Mm-hmm.
Windows means laptops.
Yes, sir.
That files will be always in .exe format.
Oh, okay.
Then only you can install. You can't install the file in zip format.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can
Yes.
tell all the exe files will be stored in the zip format.
Yes, sir.
Understood? So if
Yeah.
you unzip, you will get
Mhm.
all the files, .exe files, which the developer has written the code.
Oh, okay.
Compiled and compressed. Okay, it is not directly code, it is compiled and compressed into a .exe format.
Okay.
This type of many files will be gathered and which will be stored in the format of zip file.
Zip file.
Got it?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now there is something called as .jar files. What files?
.jar.
Jar means Java archive files. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yes.
Java archive files will be installed in the server. Okay, this is the code they have written in the format of Java and they have stored in the jar format. That's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Next, we have something called as .var format. Var format means web archive. If you want to store any application or any code in the web server,
Mm-hmm.
where in the web server,
Mm-hmm.
then you can store in the web archive.
Okay.
Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
Next,
Yes, sir. Yes.
tar format. Tar format means tape archive.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Okay.
tar format files can be used as a zip file. Zip means what? Used to store all this type of var, jar, exe files, no?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, you can store this exe files, jar files, var files in the tar. Okay. So
Mhm.
tar will be act as a file format. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Or
Yep.
it is act as a file format. Okay, it is act as a file format for storing. Okay, wait. Storing the other files, or which will act like a file, directly file. File means what? Like Java archive, web archive, like that,
Mhm.
which can act like a file format. Okay. Next, we have something called as dot rar format. Rar means row shell archive. So these are the formats, like what and all formats. I will show you one example I will give. Okay. Next, we have something called as, you guys heard about something called as APK. APK means Android packaging kit. If you take any Android applications in your mobile,
Mhm.
or if you have any Android TVs or something,
Mhm.
all the applications which is installed in the mobile will be in the APK format.
Okay.
For Android applications,
Mhm.
APK format files we will install.
Mhm.
Next, there is a IPA format. .IPA format. So what do you mean by IPA format? You guys are using iOS, no?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
iOS application archive.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This
Yes,
is
sir.
what you are using.
Yes, sir.
IPA is the file format in your mobiles. APK is the file format in my mobile. RAR files will be few files. TAR files may be a folder, or it may be a file. It will act like a extension as well. Okay. And web archive, Java archive, exe executable file. Okay. These are the several types of compress and compile and compressed code.
Okay.
It means the build formats.
Mhm.
You may get any of the build format.
Mhm.
Okay, few times you will also be involved in installing the build. So see your file, save as, see PNG, JPEG, BMP, GIF. You got the formats, no? Like that you can
Yeah.
save in these different types of formats.
Right.
Okay, got it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
so a question.
Hmm.
If the developer has written the code in Java language, so they will the file will
They
be
can
Java.
store in executable also.
Oh,
They
okay.
can store in web also. They can. I said no. There is an option. See here, save as. See,
Yeah.
Yes.
same photo I can store in PNG format, JPEG format,
Oh,
BMP format.
okay.
Okay, GIF format. Got it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
So,
you want to install the application in Android, see, Facebook application is there. That is there for your iOS also, for your Android also. So
Android also.
once
Got
after
it.
developers, they will write the code, they will store in the APK format, and that
Correct.
will be stored in the Play Store.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it? Play Store means what?
Yeah.
Where all the applications will get in the
Yeah.
Android.
And
Similarly, if you want to
use iOS.
iOS, okay,
Mm-hmm.
App Store, same code.
Mm-hmm.
But what they will do, they will save in the IPA format. Same code, no, nothing is changed, but they will store in the App Store.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what we mean by build.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Take the
Yeah.
screenshot.
Yes, it done.
Sir,
Done.
can I see the previous page that we just did? The previous one, not this one.
This one you take screenshot. Let me do Control
Yeah.
Z. Okay. Done.
Okay. Yep.
Now take.
Thank you, sir.
Done.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let us go. What do you mean by test cycle? Okay. One more important thing is there. So one release may have, or a release may have one build or n number of builds. Okay, there is nothing called as only one build you have to develop or only one release. No, one build you have to give. One release may have multiple builds.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding? So
Yeah.
developer will compile the code, compress the code into a build format, and he will give to the test engineers for testing. Test engineers while testing the software, if they find defect, they will communicate to developer.
Mm-hmm.
Developer is developing a one more build, or developer is fixing a defect in the old build and he will give the new build.
Mm-hmm.
So I told you when I'm teaching the testing server similar to production server, A to Z, there will be 27, 26 builds, no? Because A to Z means 26 words.
Mm-hmm.
But there
Right.
I told 2055 dot zip file.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So B55 I have given. So that time you got a question in your mind that, sir, how it will be 55, but still you haven't asked me.
Mm-hmm. Sir,
So
because
only 26 builds you are thinking, but
yeah.
there are, I mentioned 55. Why 55 means there will be many builds which are unplanned. Okay. There will be planned builds and unplanned builds also. So what do you mean by planned and unplanned? Let us see in the next classes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So a release may have one build or n number of builds.
Mm-hmm.
Got it? Just
Mm-hmm.
write this note point somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, done, sir.
Yeah,
Done?
done. Yeah.
So in your interview or you are getting some doubt that, sir, what do you mean by testing server similar to production servers?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell?
Sir, testing server should be similar to production server in terms of its configuration, where the testing server should match up somewhat like production server. So when the code is
What should
deployed,
match up? What should
the
be match up?
configuration, the
What
configuration,
configuration?
the memory, the RAM,
Memory, RAM, and all what?
uh, the configuration, sir.
That is hardware.
Hardware. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Next, there is
basically,
something called a software.
Software.
combination
Okay.
of hardware and software.
Should be similar. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Next, there is something called as data. What do you mean by data? Data means you have created Netflix, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Netflix is used to store what? Movies, web series.
Mm-hmm.
Facebook is used to store details of a person, name,
Mm-hmm.
number, contact details, photos.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So if you want to test testing server similar to production server, if you are testing the Facebook means you can't update the videos and test, no? What do you have to update? You should update the customer details. If you are testing the YouTube, you have to update the videos, upload the videos. That is what do you mean by data? Got it?
Yes,
Hardware
sir.
means what?
Hardware means
Huh.
the disk, basically the parts of the system, sir.
Okay,
Store all
let
the
us see.
important documents.
Hardware का मतलब not a documents.
Sir, CPU, monitor, keyboard.
Yeah, correct. So manufacturer should be similar. Sir, what do you mean by manufacturer? If your Apple is developed the server, let me take an example. If testing server is developed by Apple, then production server should be developed by Apple. So how it is possible? So what I will do, I will ask the customer before I am going for the testing server similar to production server setup. Always. He will tell that he used HP as his hardware.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Then
sir.
I will use the HP as a hardware.
Okay.
Similar, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
If production server is manufactured by HP, then testing server similar to production server should be manufactured by HP only.
Yes, sir.
And configuration, as you are telling that configuration, okay, should be similar. It means capacities of number of CPUs may be different. CPU means again, what it will do? It will store some RAM, ROM. RAM means random
Access memory.
access memory. ROM means read-only memory.
Okay.
It is hard disk. ROM means what? Hard disk. I told you.
Okay.
Internal memory. Okay.
Internal. Okay.
Graphic card. Like that. Okay. That
Yes,
and
sir.
all will be stored in your CPU. CPU means old. If you observe old systems, no, there will be one
Yes,
more
sir.
box, helping
Yes,
box.
sir.
That is what we'll call it as a CPU, where all the hardwares are stored. Okay.
Yeah.
So the storage can be different, but it should be there. 100 GB is something where 10 GB similar should be there, not 1 GB, 2 GB. Software should be similar. Software should be similar. I told you already, OS should be similar. Web server. What do you mean by web server? I told you, web servers, there are many. I will give you one particular web server, Apache Tomcat. It is one of the server which they will use for web servers. Okay. Understood? Just
Yes,
I'm
sir.
giving one server name, that's it. Next, we have something called as WebLogic, one of the server which is used as an app server. Sir, is it same or no? We can change WebLogic as web server also. We can change Apache Tomcat as. See, this is just combination of hardware and software. However you want, you can utilize that. But database should be always, I can tell SQL, Oracle SQL. Okay, something like that, or PL SQL. There are many SQLs. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you can keep one of the server combination. This is a software and hardware combination. So that is what we'll call it as a software should be similar. Next, data should be similar. One more I told, no? So what do you mean by data should be similar? If customer is telling that 50,000 users will use my application, no? This I told you already.
Yes,
While
sir.
doing performance testing, 50,000 users they're using. Obviously, I should test my software for 50,000 users.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So 50,000 users, profile photos, names, mail IDs, numbers, etc., 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 can be the customer's data for the Facebook. So data, what I can do some dummy data by using virtual user generator. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You can create some data, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Prerna. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that data we will create and we will update in the application and we will test that. So
Yes,
that
sir.
is how I will check the data validation.
Okay.
So hardware should be similar, software should be similar, data should be similar.
Similar. Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Take the screenshot.
Yes, sir. Done.
Done, sir.
So understanding or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is
Okay.
the full form of ROM again, sir?
Random access
Okay.
ROM, ROM.
Yeah. Random.
Read only memory.
Read only memory. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now let us see what and all is done. Okay. Hardware similar to software is done. No? Okay. So what concept I have to do? There are many concepts, so I'm just thinking what to do.
Sir, today's topic was architecture of application in the
Yeah,
GeoMeet.
before that, you have to know few things.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay, let us do that later. There is something called as respin and patch. Okay. A respin and patch, very important concepts. Very important concepts. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what do you mean by respin? So you guys already know that customer gives the requirement. Okay. A to Z modules or A to B modules or anything. Okay. And business analyst will collect the requirement. He will convert the CRS into
SRS.
SRS. Later he will give to the architect. He will do high level design and
yes,
low level design. Later they will give to the developers. So developers, what they will do, there will be something called as senior or development lead. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So development lead, what he will do, he will be assigning the work to the respective developers. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So developer 1 and developer 2. So what he's done, he is assigning the work to the respective developers. So developers will write the code and they will do white box
Testing.
testing. They will compile the code, compress the code into a file format called as software. And they will store that software in one of the server called as what server?
Development server.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Confidential, no confidential.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
development
sir.
lead will collect the code, arrange the code, compile the code, compress the code into a build. Let me take it is stored in a D drive and build folder, and the name is b01.zip. Can I store in tar format?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that is act like both the file format and also the extension format. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now development lead will mail to the test lead stating that build is ready for testing. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So what my test engineer or test lead will do, he will copy the build. He will go to the development server. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This story you guys already know. He will connect
sir.
to the
Yeah.
development server. He will go to the folder. He will copy the
Copy and paste.
build b01.zip. Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
And
sir.
And it goes
he will
to
go to the
testing
testing server.
Yeah.
What he will do in the testing server?
So
Will
he's going to
paste
find.
Unzip and install.
Huh?
Unzip and install.
Yeah, first he will paste.
Yeah,
Okay.
paste and then unzip and
Yeah.
install.
Later he will do unzip
And install.
and install.
Hmm.
Later he will get the URL. Okay, you will get the URL. Next, parallelly is also assigned the work for the test engineers. Test engineers is written the scenarios and test cases. And as soon as they get the URLs, they will connect to the
Testing server.
testing server. They will connect to the testing server and start doing the testing. As soon as when they are doing the testing, if they find any defect, what they will do?
They are going to log into DTT.
Yes, they will log into defect tracking tool.
Yeah.
Okay. Generate the
report.
Defect report. What they will do?
Generate
defect report. Generate the defect report.
And generate a unique defect ID.
Yeah.
Okay. They will communicate to the development lead or any of the respective developer. If I already know the developer, no. If I know that developer one is doing that feature, testing that feature, I can directly communicate to developer one by keeping CC to development lead.
Sir, but
Understood.
suppose sir, if a fresh test engineer is doing the testing, sir, should not the fresh test engineer report it to test lead and then test lead reports it to development lead? Like, do we follow a hierarchy?
I mean, we need to ask initially one or two defects only. We may ask development lead. Development lead will not be easily available for fresher. Freshers should be having his teammates, senior test engineers or junior test engineers. So he can ask them.
Okay.
And he can communicate to respective development lead. Initially, keeping sending to development lead is okay. But if you know already which developer is responsible,
Okay.
So what you can do, you can directly send to the developer, but you can keep CC for development lead. CC means carbon copy, okay?
Okay, sir.
Because he should aware of that. Now, developer will analyze the defect report, okay? You need to go through the defect report. You need to analyze which type of defect and all. After analyzing, he got to know that there are many lines of code is affected. Okay, not 1 or 2 lines. Understood?
Yes,
So
sir.
many lines of code is affected. I mean, he has done so many mistakes in the coding. Okay, many lines of code is affected. So that time what he will do, he will analyze the code. He will change maximum number of percentage. Let me take 100 out of 100%. 40 to 80% of coding is changed. Getting?
Yes, sir.
So out of 100%, 40 to 80% of code is changed. So what developer will do, he will again fix all those issues. Later, he will compile and will compress into a new software. Compile and compress into a new software or new build. Let me tell, that is the B02 dot zip. Okay, he will store in a zip format. So he will communicate to test lead that the development lead will mail to test lead stating that the defect is fixed and the new build is ready for testing. So what test lead will do, he copy to the development server. He will connect to the development server. He'll copy the build B02.
Okay.
And he will paste in the testing server, and he will uninstall the build B01 and he will install the build B02.zip.
Okay.
Okay, after installing, you will get a URL, same URL. But when he installed this build, no, same code is there, but he's changed the code. Understood? Many lines of code was there. I am telling you the same requirement only, but coding has been changed, na? So we have changed that into a software. Same build. I mean, B01 we have replaced with the B02.
Correct.
But coding is same, no?
Yes, sir.
Instead of only fixing the defect, we are giving a new build only. So we expected only one build for that particular requirement, for A requirement, let me tell. Unexpectedly, we got one more build for A module. We expected only build B01 for A module, or we have planned. There is an unplanned build we got as a B02
Yes.
for A module.
Yes.
So what do you mean by respin now? What do you mean by respin now?
So basically rewriting the module in order to correct it.
Have I done test cycle for you?
Test cycle, sir, last time we used test cycle 1, cycle 2 term in the explanation.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I
Did
will
the
teach you. Let me make you more clear in the respin. So So 5 days. So see here, in a company, developers and test engineers, okay?
Yes, sir.
Developer and test engineer both are there, okay? They are working parallelly, no?
Yes, sir.
So there will be a test cycle for developers also, test engineers also, where they have decided 5 days. So 5 days once I should get one build.
Okay.
Okay. 5 days once we should plan one build. Plan means that should be developed, okay? Or that should be tested. It means 5 days we have given the time. So developer need 5 days time to develop this build B01. Parallelly, in that 5 days, test engineers, what they will do, they will write the code, do the white box, write the test scenarios and test cases.
Yes, sir.
Developers within that 5 days, what they are doing, they are writing the code and they are doing the white box testing. Understood? Huh?
Yes,
So
sir.
test engineers, what they are doing. So can I tell developers what they are doing in the 5 days? They are writing the code and they are doing a white box testing.
Yes.
And they are compiling the code, compress the code into build.
Zip.
Okay. So they have planned build 5 days. Parallelly, what test engineers are doing? Writing the
test scenario and test
scenarios and test cases. In the 5 days. Next, this 5 days is completed. Now, what test engineer will do means he will get the build year. So this 5 days, you have understood that developer is written the code, done the white box testing, is given the build B01 for the test engineers over 6th day. Let me take 5 days, they are completed. It means 1 week they have done that. So I got a B01. Now, as we discussed, we should test that build within 5 days. Now I am testing the software in the first day of the or 6th day, you can tell. I got a defect, this defect. When on the 6th day, I logged to defect tracking tool, I communicated to developer. Since 40 to 80% of the defects, I mean, the software is not working means, can I test my software on 7th day, 8th day, 9th day, 10th day? I have any work? Because 40 to 80% of software is affected means, as a test engineer, you will not be having any work. Understood? Are you getting no? The software is not working. Facebook is not working. How can you test the Facebook?
Yes.
So you will be free now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you will do, 1 or 2 days, you will write the scenario for B module. Parallel developers also doing that B module, no? B module developer is writing the code already, but you have communicated to the defect also with him. Now developer is stop writing the code for B module.
Okay.
And he will check there are many lines of code is affected. He will go to that code, he will change all the code, he will compile and he will compress the software and he will give within the test cycle.
Oh.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Because I don't have a work, I will waste my time. No, so immediately rapa, he will write the code and he will give the B02 in between the test cycle. It means maybe 7th day or 8th day. So when I actually needs to get my build B02 on the 10th day or 11th day, no? But when I got in the 7th day because my previous build got affected.
40 to 80%.
Yeah, or 90% or not working only.
Yeah.
So I am getting one unplanned build. This is
Yeah.
unplanned build
Yeah.
within my test cycle.
Oh.
Okay, this is my test cycle. I got one build, but this is an unplanned build I got. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
so getting a unplanned build within a test cycle is called as respin. Okay, so what do you mean by test cycle? Test cycle means we have planned no 5 days time taken to completely test one build. Can you tell? This 5 days means what? Why have mentioned this 5 days? Why we have this 5 days? This is the time taken to test completely one build. That is what we'll call it as a test cycle. So, see, one definition later we should go for one definition. So there is a link. You see, if I go to directly respin, then you might get confused. So I have to go for test cycle only.
Okay.
So after teaching test cycle, you can understand the respin now.
Okay.
So we have mentioned time taken to completely test or time taken to test completely one build. So 5 days time before test old is B01, but I got B02 because it is an unplanned build. Within a test cycle I got. Why? Again, there was a defect in my B01 or there are changes in my B01. So getting an unplanned build within a test cycle is called as spin.
Respin. Okay, sir.
Okay. This all the process is there, no? This all the
Yes, sir.
process for A module.
Okay.
A module will be 5 days only. Next,
Okay.
for B module, copy the old code, write the new code for B, and do white box testing, compile the code, compress the code into a B02.
Yes, sir.
That will be 5 days. But
Okay.
within that 5 days, my previous build only had a defect, so I just stopped doing this build. Instead of this build, I have given the same build. Okay, so that is what we will call it as a unplanned build.
Okay.
So that is respin.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So that time, obviously, when you are free for 1 or 2 days, you should not waste your time. You should write the scenarios and test cases for build
Module
B,
Yeah.
module B.
Yeah.
See,
Okay.
you are in progress, no? Later developer will give the build. See, another 2 days is there. It is pressure for developer. See, he will give build B03. He will not waste time. He is given on
Correct.
7 day, 8, 9, 10 days. We have 3 days. But in these 2 days, you have written the scenarios for build B03.
Yes, sir.
Got
Correct.
so they are also not wasting time, and not you are also not wasting your time.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is what test cycle. Test cycle means utilization of development and testing time in a proper way. Okay. So there
Yes,
is no
correct.
time waste. So
Yeah.
you will give the build B03. So you got one build here. Similarly, here B03 is done. Now B04 is given. Some issues happened. He may given one more build, B05 in between. Later is
Correct.
given B06 later. So
Okay.
I mentioned in your previous class, A to Z modules, it should be 26 builds. But I have
Okay.
mentioned 55 builds because there may be another 20 unplanned builds. Understood? There
Yes,
are
sir.
another 20 or 19 unplanned builds are there. So those builds are called as respins.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
what do you mean by respin? Getting a unplanned build within a test cycle.
Yes,
Got it?
sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting a unplanned build within a test cycle is called as respin.
Yes, sir.
Respin. Okay.
So respin or unplanned build, both are
Unplanned.
safe.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So what do you mean by patch? Let us see later.
Okay.
So now write down heading test cycle. First write down heading called as test cycle.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Write down time taken to completely test
Okay.
time taken to completely test
Mm-hmm.
one build
Mm-hmm.
is called as
Okay.
test cycle.
Yes, sir.
You just
Okay.
write down the example. This much you write. This much write down.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, is this 5 days one? Is this the sprint model, sir?
That I will explain. That is comes under agile sprint and all.
Okay, okay.
We haven't learned sprint yet, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Done, sir.
Okay, next write down heading respin
Okay.
or unplanned build.
Okay.
Just copy
Okay.
this much only. Diagram. Oh, before that, write down the heading or definition. Getting an unplanned build within a test cycle.
Okay.
Getting an unplanned build within a test cycle is called as respin.
Okay. And just copy the middle part, right?
Yeah, this much only.
Okay. Done, sir.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay. So respin you understood. Let us go with the patch now.
Mm-hmm.
Now it is very easy for you to understand patch. Now, previously you just copy this also. You just write down this definition for respin. This box, many lines of code is affected.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
and beside that, for example, 40 to 80%.
Yes, sir.
Okay, done.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
let us see what do you mean by patch. Okay. So,
Yep.
so same customer will give the requirement, BA will collect the requirement, architect will do high level design, low level design, developer will write the code and do white box testing, compile, compress into a software. Okay.
Okay.
Later, he will mail to the test lead stating that the build is ready for testing. And test engineer, what he will do, he'll connect to the testing server, development server. He will copy the build and he will paste the build in the where? In the testing server. Later, he will unzip and he will install and he will tell the test engineers to, excuse me, okay, test engineers to do the testing. So test engineers, when they are testing, they find one defect. Okay, sorry. So they will find one defect. They will immediately log into defect tracking tool and they will prepare a defect report and they will generate unique defect ID, communicate to development lead. Development lead assign the defect to the respective developer. Developer open the source code and he found few lines of code is affected. Less number of lines of code is affected. Not many lines, only less number of lines of code is affected. So what I will do in the same code only. I mean, B01 is there, no? B01 code is there. Let me take, this is a B01 code. Only few lines of code is affected. Okay. What they will do, they will write this code. Write the correct code. Only few lines of code is affected, no? You will write
Right.
only replacement of the wrong code to right code. Can I tell? Okay. Replace the wrong code to right code. And what he will do, he will tell that build is not ready, he will not tell. What he will tell, I have given something called as patch. Okay. He will prepare something called as patch. Only this much code only he will take and he will replace and he will make it as a patch.
Okay.
I can call it as a piece of code as well. What is this? Piece of code.
Piece of code.
Okay. It's a piece of code. Okay.
Okay.
So that code, what he will do, he will store in the development server. Development's next development lead, mail to test lead stating patch is
Ready for testing.
ready for update.
Okay.
Copy, patch is ready for update.
Okay.
Yeah, that much mail he will do. And now what my test lead will do, see, the mail is saying what? This is not BL, this is TL. Okay. DL. Development lead mail to test lead, patch is ready for update. He will go to the, he'll connect to the development server. He will copy the patch. Okay. We'll paste the patch. What he's doing is paste the patch and is update the patch with the build B01 only. Here no uninstallation installation. What he will do? He will copy paste the patch and he will update the patch in the B01. So developer is written the code such a way that if you just click on update, no, there will be some options, okay, in the server. There you need to click on update. As soon as update, this whatever the missing code will be there, this will be replaced with the correct code or the patch.
Wow.
Okay.
In the same build.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. So what test engineers need to do means they need to restart that page. Restart page means you guys know browser, you will go, just there will be something called as restart. They will refresh or not restart, refresh the page. As soon as they will refresh, no, the patch is updated. Again, they will test the software by giving the inputs. The defect will be fixed.
Correct.
Here, we have not uninstalled anything. See, installation and uninstallation of software will take so much time.
Correct.
Got it? So
So,
in
sir-
order to avoid that, or very less number of lines of code is affected. So why you want to take 2 hours, 3 hours of installation of the software? Waste, no. So the test lead will take 3 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours to uninstall and install the software. Instead of that, we have replaced the time by giving one patch. Patch, what it will do? It will just go and replace the code which are wrong. The wrong code will be replaced by the patch. So if you open your application like Play Store or App Store, you will get the updates, no? Those
Yes, sir.
updates are not a new builds, those are the patch updates.
Okay.
Only see if your application is 50 MB, just only 500 KB, 1 MB, 2 MB updates you will get. Understood?
Yes, sir.
You can check in your mobile as well. Only some MBs of update will be there. So if you update that, no, the patch will replace by some unwanted code or wrong code.
So,
This
sir,
is how keep on patch updates. Yeah.
how will the test engineers access that BO1 patch, I mean the replaced file? Because before they used to get the URL and username and password. So to click the update button, like how will they access that?
Test lead, copy pasted. No, similarly, you will copy paste in the testing server. You will get a file format. There is a process that will be done by the test leads. Or that will be done by the development leads, or that will be done by some person called as installation engineer or release engineer. Okay. That and all done by them. They will update that. So what we have done is we have done the refresh of the page. Or we will go to the Play Store and we will update that particular application and we will start doing that testing. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
how much time it will take? It will take only 2 minutes or 1 minute, no?
Yeah.
Uninstall or install. You just take an example. Your laptop is there. If you want to replace the Windows or if you want to replace the iOS, if you go to the service, he will tell come tomorrow or come in the evening. It will take time. Because they are replacing build B01 to B02. It means they want to uninstall your old OS and they want to install the new OS. That will be called as a respin.
Okay.
Okay. It means the complete OS they are removing and they are adding a new OS. It will take time. Uninstallation, installation, so many things are there. Before uninstallation, they have to copy your data. They should store in the database or any hard disk. Later, they need to uninstall the old software. Later, they need to install the new software. Again, they have to update your data. You are already created so much of data. in testing
Yes, sir.
server.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you uninstall, data will go off. So
Mhm.
this and all, who will take care? Again, test lead will take so much time. So instead of that, they will just give the patch in your mobile. They will just give the update of Facebook. Here
Mhm.
now, no data is lost. No, your data, your profile photo, anything you lost. No,
Yeah.
just you will get an update.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that is what we'll call it as a patch.
Mhm.
Patch
Okay.
means it is a piece of code. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by patch? Patch is a piece of code which is used to replace with the wrong code.
Code.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now just write down heading called as patch.
Okay.
Okay. What do you mean by patch? Patch is a piece of software. See, again, it is a software, it is not a code. They
Yes,
will
sir.
change the code and they will give us the software. See, test engineer will never work on any codes. We will work on softwares only. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
patch is a piece of software
Yes,
which
sir.
consists of modified programs. These programs they have modified,
Hmm.
which consists of modified
Modified program.
programs. So next line write down. To install the patch,
Okay.
to install the patch, it's not required to uninstall the build. Uninstall the build.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take this
Yeah.
screenshot.
Yeah.
Done?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think 1 or 2 note points are there. So many lines of code problem. Code affected. Many lines of code
Right.
is affected means we'll go for respit. Piece of code is problem. Affected means patch. One release can consist of n number of patches. One release can consist of n number of respins as well. Got it?
Yeah.
Have you taken the screenshot of previous diagram?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now take this screenshot.
Done, sir.
Okay. So this much is enough for today. Many definitions are done. So please go through all the definitions. Be clear with the definitions because from now onwards I will use all these words and I will just keep on going.
Okay, sir.
Right.
Okay.
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 So any doubts you can ask me in the chat. I will explain or tomorrow class. Tomorrow no class, no?
Yeah. Tomorrow no class.
So if you get a time, do presentation. Got it. More presentation, more knowledge.